Hello! I want to check, make sure everything sounds good, looks good. I think it does. Oh, I just realized. Okay, cool. Yay, exciting. So I've got, what just happened is I've got my little phone here because I want to be able to read the chat, and unfortunately, chat is over here, so I can't very well. Um, but hi, hello. My name is lynnlee. I am an artist. I do art. If you don't know me. And today I have decided, I used to stream, not really, I streamed like a couple of times back in 2021 and it was super fun and I loved it. And so I have decided to bring that back into my life. I got really busy and so unfortunately I wasn't able to, but I've got about a month of free time because my classes got set back. So I've got some time and so I figured, why not try streaming again? I've got this piece here. It's a beast. I think I've already put about 6 or 7 hours of work into it. And I've got a lot more to go. So I figured, you know what? I've got a lot of work to do and I've got some spare time on my hands. So why not go ahead and try streaming? So here I am doing that. Obviously, I understand that, I will probably not have a lot of people joining me, but you know what? I don't really care because this is more so like me forcing myself to sit down and do the dang thing. So we will see, I guess, what goes down. As you can see, I've got like a dual camera system set up here, which I'm kind of proud of. I spent a lot of time figuring this out. So I've got camera number one, which is right here, which is so that you can see the art. I know that it's not a great visual. I'm hoping to potentially get a better camera soon so that there is, better visuals you can actually see because up close there's a lot of detailed work in these dark patches, which is what's taking so long. I am actually going in and just doing dots to darken up all of these lines and then in these spaces in between, having really sporadic dots. So, the reason why this area is so dark is because there are so many lines all together and there are a lot of dots all up in there. But yes, so that is what camera number one is to show what's going on here. And then camera number two is for vibes, to chat, to, get to know each other a little bit better. Also, the mic is over here, so I'm gonna try and project my voice this way as much as possible, but I guess we'll see how well that is accomplished. But yeah, so I guess that is what is going on. I am, I might as well just get into it. I'm using acrylic on a wooden panel for this piece. And actually what I went ahead and did with this piece is replicated the wood grain that was already shown on the piece itself, or on the panel itself. So when I created this wooden panel, you can't really see it very well on the camera, I don't think, but there's it's a panel, so it's got like a kind of box-ish form figure to it. And when I originally made it, there was, all of these lines and things on it. And I went in with I made a dark tone of acrylic. This is a combination of a couple different acrylic colors. And with really watered down, I've been using, you see right here, I've got a little water spritzer bottle. So I go in and water down my acrylic a lot, and with that watered down acrylic and a super fine brush, I'm gonna do the thing, the beauty guru thing, my super fine brush, I'm able to go in and make very detailed lines with that so that I can have just my really fine detailed art, which in the past year or so, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you. I had to introduce the piece, but now I'm going to get started working on it. In the past year or so, I have gotten really into like just hyper detailed work. I was super fortunate enough to have my art shown in a gallery, which was the coolest thing in the whole entire world. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was phenomenal. And so many people came to see it, and I just felt so blessed to have my work up. I had a beautiful exhibit that I got to do, and there are actually pictures of it on my Instagram, so go follow me. It's manda.mannion, but that will probably change soon. But in any case, so I was fortunate enough to have my art up in a gallery, but it does mean I had to make a bunch of pieces, like more than I have ever made before in one, one style or one form. And so that was a lot because I really wanted to focus on finding my, I guess, my style, and what I was gonna really hone in on for this gallery. And I had to actually write a proposal and everything, which was rather frightening. I had to get accepted for the gallery, and I did, which was really cool. But the proposal that I had was called "Taming the Chaos." The whole concept for the pieces that I created, which I ended up making, I believe, 14 pieces. Yeah, I made 14 pieces. And the concept behind them was taking this idea of, sporadic chaos, in any shape or form, just total sporadicism, I guess, and making art and beauty out of it. So that was a really interesting challenge because, it is hard to take hyper detailed chaotic lines and turn them into a piece, especially, whenever all you have is, I really only used, what is it called? Ink. For those pieces, I used ink on watercolor paper. And so I had to really make an interesting statement about all of that and, have fun with it at the same time. So that was those pieces. Basically, all of those pieces were patterns of, hyper detailed patterns. And I put them all up on a wall in a really cool way, and yeah, it was really fun. So I have had my art in a gallery now, which is kind of like a crazy thing to say. In general, 2021 last year, which is crazy to think about. Happy 2022. I hope everyone is doing well. 2021 was a crazy year for me, like in a lot of ways, just so much happened for me, and some of it really, really good. My gallery, of course, was just absolutely phenomenal, and I feel so blessed, literally like beyond blessed to have had that opportunity. Because like me as a 21-year-old already having my art in a gallery is amazing, and I really feel like it kind of launched my recognition. Like a lot of people are taking me and my art more seriously now because of it, which is, very exciting for me. It feels kind of like momentum in the right direction. So that's really cool. And then on top of that, I mean, so much else has happened. I'm working with a really amazing nonprofit, helping them with branding and, design and social media, and all of that. And so that's like another thing that I'm getting to do, that I'm really, really inspired and motivated by, and that all originated in 2021. And just like all sorts of things. Like I've got a lot of projects I want to say that I'm working on. Obviously, I have one more semester at my university, and so I'm not, that's my main focus. Oh, which by the way, oh my God, okay, total flex here. This is like the ultimate flex, but like I'm gonna flex this because I'm so proud of it. Another great success of 2021 is I got a 4.0 on my last GPA for like last semester, which like, okay. Like, I mean, I kind of expected it because I like worked my ass off, but it was absolutely insane, to get like my grade report in and see that. I was like, I'm a 4.0. Keep in mind, this was coming from me who, like, freshman and sophomore year of college, I was like not a 4.0, let's just say that. I didn't have great grades. And so the transition between being that way to being this way has certainly been interesting, but I am really proud of myself for it, and it kind of felt like all of my hard work has been paid off in a way, or I'm getting, I guess, the rewards of my, what is it? Like I'm reaping what I have sowed, to get, I don't know, biblical with it? That's a biblical thing. In any case, so that was another big success of 2021. Um, I think in general, like obviously I had struggles and there were some parts of the year that weren't so great, but in general, it was a really awesome year. I feel very like I'm in a upward trajectory because of last year, and so I guess in a way that's made me even more excited for this year. Like I'm like, oh, okay, last year was really great. Like, what is this year gonna? Well, okay, okay. I'm speaking purely for myself. In a lot of ways, last year fucking sucked. Like a lot of ways. You know, nationally and globally, and you know the fucking pandemic still kicking our asses and all of that. But on a personal success level, I felt like a lot of success for me. So I'm hoping that in my world, the success will continue. When it comes to like global and national, like please can we get our shit together? Please. I'm begging at this point because like it is so I don't ever go on social media hardly anymore. I don't really look at the news. Like I don't ever really look at the news beforehand, but like I'm just like thoroughly detached from everything because I can't. Like I don't want to see it. I don't want to be around it. It is exhausting. And so I really have just kind of detached from all of that. So, my hope is that for 2022 that won't have to be a thing and I'll be able to like look at the news and be like, "Oh, cool. Good, happy, exciting thing," you know? Not like, "Oh, wow, great. Yes, another world shot. What do they call it? What do they been calling all of the times? It's like um unprecedented. Oh, great, another unprecedented event, you know, that I get to live through. Once in a lifetime event or whatever they call it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So, you know, just putting out good vibes for 2022, I guess, is the sum of this conversation. You know, potentially growing and expanding. I think when it comes to the goals that I have for 2022, um, so I have a lot. Something that I have done for the past couple of years now that I've really loved doing and is a great way for me to kind of goal set, you know, as the year comes to an end and kind of almost like a visualization practice of like, okay, setting my mind onto what I'm going to do for the next year. Um, so basically what I do is at the for the like last 10 days of the year, I will go in every day and write um 10 goals that I have for the next year. Every single day I do this for like the last 10 days of the year. And I don't look at the previous goals that I've written down. Like I try to not really think about, you know, okay, what did I write yesterday, but more so like reassess where I'm at and like redetermine what the goals are. And so I'll do that for 10 days. And then at the end of the 10 days, I will basically like choose, because there will be like, for me personally, there are a lot of overlaps. So there were a lot of goals that were consistent every day. And it was like, oh, okay, well, that must mean that's really important to me if I've written that every single day. So basically what I would do is, what I did is I took those 10 goals and made them my 10 goals for 2022. I'm still saying like 2021, lol. But yeah, so that was how I kind of goal set for the year, I guess. So now I have 10 really awesome goals for this year. And some of them are like pretty easy. Like, for example, one of them is for me to stream 3 times a day. Or, hello, not 3 times a day. Jesus, that would be ridiculous. But stream 3 times a week so that I can really get back into it and get better at it and I don't know, like grow, whatever, X, Y, and Z. Because I really want my art to potentially like become a more important part of my life, and I think that this will be a way for me to do that. So like that was one of my goals. And I don't know, just like a lot of things. I really want to focus more on my health. So for example, one of my goals was I'm not eating any dairy products and I'm not eating any gluten products. And so that was intentional because I really wanted to take care of my health and my body. And I don't know about y'all, but during the holiday season, my family, we like go ham for food. And so I definitely was going crazy with like a lot of food and whatnot. And so part of, I mean, I'm sure that's everyone. That's like how the holidays are. I was talking with my boss about it, and she said the funniest thing. She called it um, like bear weight. It's like basically like your winter hibernation weight or whatever, which I think is adorable. But it is not sustainable to eat very unhealthily, at least for myself. And so I am working on um, taking care of my body again and being intentional with my food. But yeah, so it has been a really fun thing getting to do kind of like goal setting and that sort of thing for myself. And I've been really looking forward to it. I kind of like had this, I don't know, like ecstatic joy about 2022 coming into it because I had done so much prep work for it in a way. And I don't know, I think it's really interesting that I am looking forward to the new year, this year, in a lot of ways. So that was my little mini rant about the new year. I am an, what is the word? A hopeless optimist in a lot of ways. So I know the new year gets a lot of people down because they're kind of nervous and hesitant for how the year is going to turn out. But me, on the other hand, I'm just like, woo, let's go. So I hope that that can rub off on some people and maybe help some people feel a little bit more excited about what's to come in this year. You know, always look on the bright side is my, that's what I do. I always try to look on the bright side and see the potential in things. But but yeah, so I don't know. It should be a good year. It should be an interesting year. That's the thing. If nothing else, I'm sure it will be an interesting year. Let's say that. It will certainly be an interesting one. Um, I am, like I kind of mentioned, graduating this year, which, Jesus Christ, I don't know about anyone else, but I am certainly, it's like a mix of being nervous and excited to be in the real world and be a adult, as they say. I'm nervous because like that's a lot, you know, and I've got to do the thing. I got to do the adulting thing. But I'm also really excited because I believe in myself a lot. I think that I have a lot of potential, as the kids say. I have a lot of potential. And so I am excited to see kind of where I will land without the, I don't know, I guess, because I feel like college and young adulthood have a lot of safety barriers, like safety nets almost. So I'm excited to see how I do without all of the safety nets. And I'm hopeful, I think I will do really well. So I guess that's kind of why I'm excited to graduate. I have no clue what I'm doing post graduation though. Literally none whatsoever. It's gonna be a little hectic, but I am hopeful that it is still successful nonetheless. Um, but yeah, so that is. Ah, shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I dropped the thing. Please. Okay, we're okay. I have carpet underneath. Oh fuck. I got a little bit of paint on the carpet. If my parents see this, no, you didn't. That was not me. I didn't do that. The cat shat. The cat took a shit, and that's why there's a brown stain. It was not me, I swear. God. I'll tell you what. So my parents, they co-own a business, and it is a flooring sales business. And it is absolutely my entire life. Like, first of all, I know way too much about flooring. way too much for a 21-year-old to know about flooring. Like, I can tell you the difference between, like, literally just looking at it. I can be like, oh, that's a vinyl plank. Or, oh, that's, that's a what is it called? Like a cherry wood, or, oh, that's, tile, laminate, all of those things. Like, I know way too much about flooring because of their business. But on top of knowing a lot about flooring, I get so terrified of potentially hurting floor, or like I'm just hyper aware of flooring and cautious about it. Um, like I'm also very good at getting stains out, hence why I'm not super pressed about that one stain that I just did. Because one time when I think I was like 10, I want to say, I was drinking cranberry juice, and like, who doesn't love a good cranberry juice? And I was up in my room drinking cranberry juice, and my floor in my room has white carpet, which, in retrospect, my parents, they sell flooring. They should have known better than to give a 10-year-old child white carpet on their floor. Don't know what that was about. But in any case, drinking cranberry juice, white carpet, you know what's about to happen. I spilt it everywhere, and like a big ass red stain, and I like was so terrified because like the carpet was relatively new too. Like we had just gotten everything redone, and I was like, I'm about to die. My parents are about to murder me. And so I like ran downstairs, and fun fact, if you want to get any stain out, in any case, anywhere, any stain, anyhow, club soda and dish soap will do the trick for you. And so I knew this because my parents always talk about, this life-saving trick or whatever. So I grabbed club soda and dish soap, ran back upstairs, like sprinted. And hey, I'll tell you what, it took like a hell of scrubbing and like way too much club soda. But I got the stain out, which like is kind of a flex because like white carpet with a red stain, like that's not supposed to come out. And I was only 10, but I managed to get it out. So, you know, that's that. In any case, I do know way too much about flooring. If you need any advice on what floors you should be implementing in your house, I know the top styles. I know what's popular right now. Like it's tragic. But yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's very interesting how a lot of parents, like what the parents' professions are, kind of affect the child. Like in a lot. Well, okay, this is just, parents affecting their children. That's just normal. But for me specifically, I feel like growing up with, because the thing about this flooring business is they did it out of our house. Like the office was in our house, and so my whole childhood was like flooring samples all over the house, and like customers coming into the house and stuff. Like it almost felt like I was living in a business in a way. Like it was only one room in the house that was the flooring business, but like we had employees who like would come in every morning at 8, and we had contractors coming in all of the time. And it was like very interesting childhood for me because I actually wrote a college essay on this, just to be like, like a quirky girl or whatever. I'm so sorry. Please ignore that I just did that. But yeah, I mean that's how college essays are. Is it's like you're trying to be like, showcase yourself in a way that is interesting and whatnot. In any case, so I wrote this college essay about what it was like to be growing up in a house that had a business run out of it, because it was really interesting. Like literally one of the things I remember talking about in the essay, which like happened frequently in my childhood, is I would just be like in my PJs like a normal, person, a normal human, and then I would be downstairs like getting breakfast or something, and like one of my dad's employees would walk in, and they would like come into the kitchen, and I'd just be like in my PJs making breakfast, and they'd like grab a cup of water or something, and I'd be like, oh, good morning, Mr. J. Hope you're having a good day. And be like, yep, got here about 30 minutes ago. And I'd like just be in my PJs talking with an employee. It was such a weird thing, undeniably. But it was also kind of cool at the same time. Like, I definitely think it made me able to hold myself in any situation. Like I definitely think that now, no matter where I am, I can kind of present myself in a way. It's like, okay, well, if I've been a 10-year-old talking with an adult in my PJs about the weather, then I can, be a 21-year-old dressed up and being able to have another conversation, whatever. So it was interesting for sure, but I think it had good that came out of it in a lot of ways. Uh, I don't know. That's my story on my parents' flooring business. I certainly an interesting aspect of my childhood. They're I don't know. They are certainly wild for having that in our house though. I don't know how they like where that concept even came from. Very shocking, but hey, it worked. It really worked. I'll tell you what. Can you even see? I'm like trying to see if you can. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of you could see a little bit of the work that I have done. It's it's really frustrating because I kid you not, I have been how long have I been at this now for? I don't even know, like 30 minutes or so, and I've made so little progress, not because I haven't been working. Like you've seen, I've been working this whole time, but because it just takes so freaking long to do. I don't even It takes a while. I'll tell you what. It takes a dang while to do. Um, but it is very nice to do art. I don't know. I wonder if anyone out there watching also does art and understands the like damn, this is taking a while, but also like, hey, this is kind of fun. It's like a weird dichotomy of this is taking me forever, but also I'm okay with it because I'm enjoying it. Project. Just like this, just is just simple like how to do a project. You just have to take time. God, I used to be absolutely horrible at project management. Okay, let's be honest. I'm still not great at it. I still procrastinate and, I'm not always the best about those kinds of things. But I'm certainly much better than I used to be because I used to just absolutely procrastinate everything to the last minute. And this included my art. I remember my freshman. Hello. Yes, my I'm very curled up right now in this chair. I've got a cool chair. This is my mother gave it to me. You can't really see it. Darn. It's like an egg. I feel like I'm sitting in an egg because it's like round and it's white. It's a cool chair. But yes, this is my um I used to not be very good uh at art because I was not succeeding in my art classes because I would procrastinate on the projects. And believe it or not, art takes a really long time. And so I would literally like start an art project that was supposed to take probably up to 6 or 7 hours of worth of work, and I would start it like the night before. And like I remember, oh my god, I remember there was this one I took a painting class my sophomore year of college, and there was this one project that we had to do where I had to like it was a still life. I think I had to paint a donut or something like that, or it was like a breakfast croissant or something. And we had to do it in this style called impasto, which is kind of like if you think of like Van Gogh art pieces, how it's all like painterly and there are like lines and it's not like fluid, it's kind of like crunchy almost. That was the style that we had to do it in, and I'd never painted in an impasto style before. And so I was very nervous, hence why it took me so long to start because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do so bad. Like, it's not going to turn out pretty or whatever. So I kept procrastinating. And I remember it was like 2 o'clock in the morning because I had started it that evening. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I had stayed up so late. I was sitting on my balcony because I lived, at this point, I lived on campus at my university. And I was really high up in the building. I was on the sixth floor, which was like, I mean, decently high up. And I had this great balcony with an awesome view. And I had this giant chair. was this huge chair that I had found at Goodwill for like 20 bucks. And it was like massive. It felt like a couch chair almost. And so I would always sit out on this chair. I loved it. It was out on the balcony and, you know, it's vibey. But I was sitting out on this chair like 2 o'clock in the morning, just like painting with my heart and mind and soul and body. And I just like couldn't get there. And like I couldn't get the painterly style where it was like kind of like fluid movements almost. I couldn't get it to look good. And so I literally ended up painting it with my fingers. Like I got my fingers and I did like little brush strokes with my fingers because you can't really blend with your fingers that well. And so I literally ended up painting until like 4 o'clock in the morning with my fingers, like finger painting a piece. And it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the piece turned out like kind of cool. Like I don't know, it was really interesting, but certainly not as good as it could have been if I had actually put in, you know, a real amount of effort instead of my half-assed, like 3 o'clock in the morning finger painting self. God, it's so funny because the same professor who I had that class for and another class, she like knew me as a certifiable procrastinator, like not gonna do my work on time or like half-ass my work. She is the same professor that I had last semester when I did a art gallery, where I like full sended and was putting my whole heart, mind, and soul and body into. Um, like I was putting a lot of work into it, and so I feel like it really surprised her seeing the difference in my. Sorry, sometimes I get interested in like what's going on over here, and so I look at this camera. It's the exact same as what's going on over here. I don't know why I do that, but I just got interested for a second. I wanted to see what was going on over here. Hi, hello. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too. But in any case, um, so I definitely surprised her. I think with my refound inspiration and desire to succeed. Sorry, sometimes do y'all ever just get? I think so. Whenever I was in high school and middle school, I was a swimmer. I swam every single day practically. Like that was my thing, is I swam. And I did a swim camp one year. I did like a week-long swim camp with like a college near me. And during this swim camp, I somehow managed to like very severely pull a muscle in my lower back right here. Like this muscle right here, I pulled really badly. And that was when I was 14. Literally ever since then, my back has not been the same. Like I genuinely don't know if it ever will be because it was the most excruciating pain I have ever been in. But ever since then, it is so easy for me to just experience like very severe back pain. Like I'll just be sitting casually, like currently in the status quo. And it'll be in like odd places too. Like it won't be here that I feel pain. Like it's not in the muscle that I actually pulled, but it'll be like on this side of my back, like the complete opposite side that you would expect. And I don't know. I think it's because like my back is overcompensating to like not use that muscle or something. I genuinely don't know. I need to go see a chiropractor. If anyone wants to tell me good chiropractors to go to, please let me know because I am a poor, sad college student who has a very painful back and needs to go get medical help for my chiropractic needs. But, you know, I've survived this long. I can probably survive. It's fine. I haven't re-pulled it in a really long time, which is good. I haven't re-pulled it. I think the last time I did was I was like 16 or 17. So, you know what? I'm gonna just keep in my heart that it is gonna be okay, and I'll find some care eventually for it, you know? Eventually, I'll figure out some way to get it better. Hopefully sooner than later. We shall see though. Oh gosh, okay. It's kind of hard to because I don't really want to particularly like come all the way over here, because then that's gonna like block the. I want y'all to still be able to see what I'm doing to a degree. So I'm kind of just like sticking to this lower area and like going up. So that means that I'm gonna have to go back in and keep going. Sorry, I none of those words or thought process that I just had in my mind probably made sense to you. I'm so sorry, but I was just over here plotting and figuring out what I was gonna do. Cause like I want my viewers, hello, to be able to see what I'm doing, obviously. And so I can't like very well get over here and be all up in the camera's business. I'll tell you what, figuring out this setup was kind of an absolute atrocity. Like just figuring out how I was going to set the cameras up and whatnot. Because I knew I was like, okay, well I want to be able to like talk to a camera. But then like I need a camera behind me so that I can like show what I'm doing. So it's been a process. A work in progress. I don't think I'm done with figuring this out because I'm not super happy with how this has turned out, this setup. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the chat about what I can do to better set up my setup, I guess. I'm hoping that this will become like a pretty common thing where I stream. And I'm gonna like advertise it more on my social medias, which I have linked in the description and also in my chat, or my whatever on my page. Hit that sub. I don't know how to like actually be a like self-promote, I guess. Hit that sub and hit that bell if you want to, if you like my content and you want to hear more about it. Sorry. I can't take myself seriously sometimes. You know what? I don't think anyone should take themselves seriously because if you're taking yourself seriously, you're not going to have as much fun as if you just goof around and be silly. And that's my little chip of knowledge for today is just don't take yourself seriously, be goofy, be silly, be fun. But in any case, I don't even know what I was talking about. I was self-promoting is what I was doing. I was talking about my social medias. You should follow my social medias so that when I stream more, which I'm hoping to do because this is fun and I am enjoying this, when I stream more, you will be able to see it, you know, experience it with me, catch the whole experience. I don't know if you could hear that, but there was a banging that was happening outside my window. I don't ask questions anymore. I just accept and move on. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying streaming. Like I said, I used to do it back whenever, like over the start of this last summer of 2021. I did it a little bit, and it was really fun. And so I'm trying to get back into it, because I don't know, I really have been enjoying my art experience for the past 6 months or so. I created a bunch of pieces that I felt super proud of, and I got a lot of really cool recognition, like people asking to buy my pieces and stuff, which first of all was like kind of crazy. I was like, no, hold on, what do you mean you want to like purchase a thing that I have created? What? Which was kind of cool, but so it's really inspired me to pursue this path more seriously. And I already said this in stream, but I don't know. I'm gonna say it again because I like talking. I don't know. I be saying things a lot. I really want to stream more, so essentially so that I can pursue this career. And I think that streaming is gonna be a really great way for me to do that. Gonna do a little break here where I squirt the thing, and get some nice, oh gosh, yeah, sometimes words are not easy. I don't know about you, but words can be very difficult sometimes, and I'm trying my best here, but I'm not always the greatest. If there's anyone out there who would like to ask a question, something I really enjoy doing is answering Actually, okay, this is something that I do really frequently with my friends, which I love doing. I have a bunch of like random questions on just on deck that I always ask people when there's like a lull in conversation or something. I don't know why I do this, but well, actually I do know why. I used to be a camp counselor for a summer camp. And I would always my age range that I would always like be helping out with or counseling for, I guess, was like 11 to 13-year olds. Like that was my age range of girls that I would always be helping. And I'll tell you what, like I was probably like 18 around that age when I was doing this, and it can be kind of difficult to be relatable and fun for a 13-year-old, especially when you like don't really know what their energy is, like what they enjoy and, all of that. And so I would just ask like goofy, silly questions, and that would always like spark a really fun conversation. So I kind of started doing that just like with everyone in my life. Um, and that's been really fun. So, like, for example, my number one question that I always ask people, I don't know why, but it's just like such a fun conversation starter and it always gets people's brains thinking is basically, so you're in the zombie apocalypse, like it is the zombie apocalypse TM, and you are like trying to find a weapon. Like you have, let's say you can like get any weapon you want, but it can't be a gun because guns are super overpowered and like bad. It's a bad answer. I don't want that answer. So it can be any weapon you want, but it can't be a gun. It's the zombie apocalypse. What weapon are you choosing? And I kid you not, I've been having like I think that now it's been about a year that I've been asking people this question. It has brought forth some of the most fun conversations I've ever had in my life. Like my some of my I used to work at a restaurant in a resort, and some of my like the cooks and stuff, I had this conversation with them. It was so funny. I'm not even kidding. It was hilarious because they were just coming up with like the most I think one of them said like a flamethrower, like just random stuff like that. But it's just so interesting to see how different people respond to these questions. It just is like, oh, like what is your personality like, kind of thing. Another one of my big ones that I ask is if you could completely eradicate, like 100% remove from like memories, from any public knowledge, a vegetable, what vegetable would it be? And I feel like it's really funny because this question, not a lot of people are like that passionate about vegetables, you know? So it makes for a really interesting conversation of people being like, well, I mean, I could get rid of carrots, I guess, but like they're not that bad. Like I don't know, it's funny to ask that one because, and then some people get really up in arms. Like I asked this question to my family, and my dad like really loves broccoli, and I'm just like only partial, like I'm like broccoli's okay, but like I could live without anyone ever knowing broccoli existed, so that's my answer. But my dad really loves it, and so we were like talking about it and I said broccoli. He got hurt by that one. He was like, what do you mean? Anyways, it was funny. So that's a fun question that I like to ask too. But on the topic of vegetables though, this is a fun little fact about me. When I was like 13, I want to say, I like acquired, created, my body has now, I don't know, it established in my body a carrot allergy. Um, so like I used to eat carrots all the time growing up. Like I loved carrots. But then I don't know why around 13, 14, around that time in my life, I started eating carrots and then like my lips would get all swollen and like painful. Like it was like this weird like itchy feeling. And so I had to stop eating carrots, which is kind of tragic because like carrots are good. I don't know. Full send. I like carrots, but I can't really eat them anymore. Like I still will occasionally. Oh, and this is the weirdest part about it too. Not even I can eat cooked carrots fine. It's raw carrots that I can't eat, which is even weirder. I don't know why. I've like tried to look into it before, and I think there's this thing in carrots and then also like kale and like snap peas, I think. I'm not sure. But like all three of those, it happens to where I have this weird, I don't know, thing, like reaction. I think it's called carotenoids. And so I'm pretty sure that's what I'm allergic to. Like it's not actually carrots, but it's this thing called carotenoids. And so it's just like mildly annoying. Like I'm not gonna go to the hospital if I eat a carrot or like celery or whatever, but it is mildly frustrating and I'm like, well, this is just not how I wanted my carrot experience to go. So I just tend to avoid those guys, which sucks because I'm like, vegetables are really healthy and good for you and I should probably eat them. But like it means that I can only really eat like bell pepper. And even bell pepper, like I can't even really do bell pepper. Like I can only eat a tiny bit of bell pepper. So interesting, weird thing about me. And it, damn, yeah, that was crazy. I have a lot of allergies that have started to develop. Like for example, I used to, hello. Did y'all see that? I don't know if you saw that on screen, but my shit just got rocked. In any case, I used to be, well, I still am really allergic to oak pollen. Like I've always been really allergic to oak pollen, but so like oh my god, it was terrible. Like in the spring, I used to just totally because oak pollen is in the spring. I used to just like die, like really just die. Like my eyes would be always bloodshot red, my nose always runny. When I was a kid, luckily it's like gotten better since then. But my God, for a while there, it was bad. It was messy. But so it has gotten better since then, though, however. But I've developed like other allergies since then. Like I came home for winter holiday because, you know, I wanted to be with my family and whatnot. And I started having the worst allergies and I was like, what in tarnation? You know, like what is going on here? Why am I having allergies? And I realized cedar is really, really high right now in the area that I'm in. And so I was very frustrated by that cedar was so high. And I apparently am having allergies because of it. So add that onto the list of things I'm allergic to. I feel so bad. One of my friends, I kid you not, she has the worst allergies I've ever met. Like she literally for like the first 2 years of knowing her, she couldn't breathe through her nose because her allergies were so bad. And she would like go to the doctor and they would be like, yeah, you're just allergic to literally everything. Like, good luck, Charlie. Have fun out there trying to breathe. I think she's gotten like good medicine for it now though, because I distinctly remember when she was like finally able to breathe again and all of us were like, yeah, let's go. Which is rather fucking hilarious, the fact that we celebrated her being able to breathe. Well, okay, it's yeah, as we should have celebrated. But it was interesting for sure. Um, but yeah, allergies are honestly not fun. They kind of suck. Uh, but yeah, that's what I've got. That's what I've got going on in my world. I've really already been streaming for almost an hour now. Wow, good job for me. I think I'm gonna try and stream for till about 6 today. I want to get like good amounts of streaming in every time I do it because I think I don't know, it's good for what is the word? Camaraderie? Good camaraderie building. I don't know. What's it like being um that's a really good question. Thank you so much for asking. What's it like being an art major? So actually, fun fact, I'm only an art minor. I'm not an art major. My major is in communications, which is kind of like the study of social media and how messages and ideas are spread throughout like society and stuff like that, which is really interesting. And I thoroughly love it because the reason why is because I came into college with the idea of wanting to be like a social media manager and graphic design artist and stuff. So I'm a studio art minor, which means that I am like studio art is like this sort of thing because there's also like art history and all sorts of other like art majors and minors that you can be. So I'm a studio art minor. And how is it? It's really interesting, honestly. I didn't expect it to be so like time consuming when I first started the process. Like I took my first couple of art classes and they were like design one. And design one was super easy because it was like three projects that we had in total. But I took my first drawing class, my like drawing one class, I think my second semester freshman year, either that or my first semester sophomore year. And that was like a lot of work. I did not expect it to be so taxing because you think like, oh, drawing one, I'm just gonna sit down and like doodle and like it'll be easy. But no, no, they have you doing like real ass portraits and projects and stuff. And it can be a lot of work and a little bit overwhelming at times, especially if you don't. I told a story earlier on stream about like a project that I had to do, and it probably would have taken like about 12 hours worth of work, 8 to 12 hours worth of work, but I ended up like doing it in like 5 hours and it did not turn out good, and like, you know. So it's really just about like putting in the time commitment more than anything. Like obviously sitting down and doing this is more fun than like doing calc homework, at least in my personal opinion. I'm sure there are some people who are absolutely in love with calculus and like that's their jam or whatever. And good for them. If calculus is your jam, good for you. Can't relate. But for me personally, like this is not hard. It is fun, but it just takes a lot of time, like a lot more time than I would expect, or I expected personally whenever I first started doing all of this. So I would say very fun and very rewarding too, because my art in my since I began being an art student, um, I have gained so much knowledge about not only like my art style and who I am as an artist, but also just like the art world in general. Like there are so many artists that I have been introduced to, not like personally on a personal basis, but like their art and understanding their art that I would have never known about, obviously, without, you know, professors suggesting me look into them and that sort of thing. Um, Especially kind of like more not because I follow so many, you know, artists on Instagram and on social media and stuff like that, and so I have a lot of um, I guess you could say uh, like experience and like understanding of the art community that way. But this is more like professional artists who are, not that Instagram and those type of artists aren't professional, but like people who are really well-known artists in the art community. And it's really cool to see like modern artists and stuff. Like there's this one artist named Jonathan Jonas Wood, who is a contemporary artist, really amazing. He does like these beautiful flat plant life pieces, and they're really cool. And I really enjoyed. Um, so yeah, that was a really cool part of the whole experience that I didn't really expect. I didn't expect to learn a lot more about artists, which is like dumb going into like, of course you're gonna learn more, but you know, I don't know. That was a really cool part. And then also another thing that I've really loved about doing art in college is the critiques. Like that is such a cool thing in college because they're really, or at least at my university, and of course it's different for every university, the way that your department is run and whatnot. But I feel like there are some consistencies throughout. But what I was saying, the critiques at my university are really, really cool. Like I don't know, they're very freeform and kind of like the students lead them in a way. And it's especially in my most recent class, which was a drawing three course. So it was like an upper division course where it was a really small class. There was only, I think, 8 of us in the course. And so it led to really strong critiques, because all of us kind of like had a really good idea of what we were doing and like who we were as artists. And so we had these really beautiful critiques where everyone was like super positive, but also really like promoting constructive feedback. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just cool because we all grew as artists together in a way. And I think that that's something that I've really also enjoyed about it, is kind of like the feedback not only that you get from professors but also from other students. And also it's cool because like when you're in a studio, like an art studio with 8 other artists and you're all working at the same time on art, and it's just this really cool environment that's created in a way where everyone is positive and, you know, uplifting and trying to help each other become better artists, and it's just very good feeling. So I don't know, really long-winded answer to that question. Basically, it's a really cool experience. It takes a lot of work, but it's definitely enjoyable. And I don't know. I think that the thing is when I was going into college, I didn't even realize, or I didn't even think about being an art minor at all. Like I really didn't. But I kind of started taking art classes, and then I kept taking art classes, and then I kept taking art classes, and I was like, well, shoot, I can make this a minor. And so I just kind of out of nowhere became an art minor without even really meaning to, and it's definitely been a really great joy for me. I would say being an art major is a little bit different, and I'm sure, like I mentioned, it's different at every university, but um, thinking about the meaning behind your pieces, you just remember creating the pieces. That's a good question. Okay, let me finish what I was going to say, and then I'll get to that. But, oh shit, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so for art majors at my university, they have to take a lot of classes that aren't specialized for their specific medium. For example, I have a dear friend who's an art minor or art major, and she is taking classes that are like she loves painting. Painting is her thing, but she's taking like woodwork classes and pottery classes as well. So you'll definitely get a lot of breadth, I think, for majors, but for minors, it's more of like honing in onto what specifically you want. To answer your question about if I do more like meaning behind the pieces or if I spend more time creating the pieces, first of all, thank you so much for asking questions. I really appreciate it. Answer though, honestly, I think I take more time making the pieces. As you can see, my pieces are relatively abstract. They don't have a whole lot of like visual depictions of physical things in them. But and so I take a lot of care and effort into creating as pretty and beautiful and intricate pieces as I can, with the hope that if I am able to create a piece that is visually appealing in an abstract form, then I don't have to create meaning in it, but essentially the person who is viewing it, who sees this beautiful piece and who sees this complex image, is going to create meaning and pull meaning from their own. Something that I learned about in my communication class, like I mentioned, I'm a communication major, and one of the biggest things that we talk about in that class is the difference between the message that is being sent and the message that is being received. So when an artist creates something, they obviously have an intent in their message. So for example, Van Gogh's Starry Night, I'm sure that when he was creating that piece, he had ideals about what it represented, what it felt like, what it was. But someone in the 21st century looking at Van Gogh's Starry Night is going to get a totally different idea of it than what he personally himself was trying to say about that piece or trying to say in that piece. And so for me, I kind of have an understanding that it is not necessarily about what I'm trying to say, but about what the individual seeing my piece is going to get from it. And so I really try to leave my pieces open for interpretation more than anything. In my gallery, one of my favorite things about it, because a lot of my pieces were very hyper detailed abstract pieces, in my gallery, I really liked overhearing, like we had an opening exhibit, or like a kind of an opening day for it. And so there were a lot of people there, and it was really exciting, and I kind of got to overhear conversations that people were having about my art, which first of all is like really crazy. Like it's really shocking to be like, oh my God, they're looking at my art, they're talking about my art, they're seeing my art like on a beautiful wall, and it's like, I freaked out. Like I was totally freaking out that day, like in a good way. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting about that gallery, and what people were saying about my art, because it is, you know, abstract and doesn't have a lot of like conceptual things behind it other than the title of the gallery, which is called Taming the Chaos. Other than that, like there's not a lot that people have to work with. And so I people kind of like created their own meaning in my pieces, especially in the visual, what they looked like. Like I had one piece that I heard so many different things. Like I had some people saying it looked like veins, and then other people saying it looked like tree roots, and then other people saying it looked like, you know, like what is it, like leaf stuff. I don't know, all sorts of stuff. And so that honestly is really where I get my joy from my pieces, is hearing how others interpret my art. So again, long-winded answer, it's not really for me about the meaning that I'm trying to create in my pieces, but more so the meaning that others are getting from my pieces. I think that art is a collaborative process, you know, between both the artists themselves and the viewer. And so if I can help someone experience the the art in their own unique way and get, you know, fun uniqueness and have, I guess, a part of the creation process in what they receive from my art, then, you know, that's really cool. And I think that's really exciting. So I don't know. I would definitely say I spend more time on the actual art itself. Like, for example, one of my pieces in my gallery that it was kind of the original piece. I had 14 pieces in my gallery. The first one I made 6 months prior to all of the other ones, and it really was the thing that kind of inspired the gallery in general. It was a piece that I called The Quilt. And speaking of, if anyone wants to see these pieces, they're on my social medias. They're linked in the description. They're probably on my channel somewhere too, but I have a post that I recently posted that has, you know, images of my gallery and whatnot, and I'm going to be posting more detailed pictures of all of them soon. I have to just take those pictures. I haven't taken them yet, so that'll be soon to come. In any case, that's all on my social media. Oh shit, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I remember. Okay. So one of my original pieces, the original piece that I made, is called The Quilt, and it was a 15 by 15 piece. So honestly, not that big. This, for example, I think is an 18 by 36. And so this is a much larger piece than that was. That one took me 14 hours to create. So my art definitely takes a long time. And that, I find love in that. I feel like when I create pieces, they each have kind of significance for a time period in my life because they do take so long. And so they kind of symbolize, like, I don't know, a period in my life where I am doing those things. Like, for example, that one was probably about 2 months of my life I was working on that piece, because I was a full-time student at the same time. And so it's like, you know, how many hours a day can I spend on this piece? Like maybe one every couple of days. I also was kind of procrastinating on that piece, you know, as one does. But but yeah, so they kind of represent like periods in my life in a way. Like this one I've been working on for about 2 weeks now, I want to say. And so you know, it's definitely started to showcase a time in my life. And I'll look back on this piece, which, by the way, I'm giving this piece to my grandparents, if anyone was wondering. I think that's really, it was supposed to be a Christmas gift, which obviously I didn't have time to finish, LOL. But I showed them like the partially completed piece, and they were like, oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. So I just like need to sit my ass down and finish it, because it has already been like a week since Christmas. 2 weeks? When was Christmas? I don't know. Time's not real. It's been a long time since then, and so I need to work on it more so I can actually give it to them before I have to leave for college again, which is sooner than later. Luckily, it is certainly, well, okay, luckily and unluckily. It's a weird dichotomy. We're living in a dichotomy. Did you know? So this weird dichotomy of I'm happy that God, none of that made sense. So basically, my classes got canceled and set back because of Omicron. My campus is relatively small, and so uh, the university has had to be really careful about COVID and everything because essentially, like, if we have an outbreak on campus, everyone and the mother's gonna get it. And so my universities had to be really careful about all of that. Therefore, with Omicron, we have had to push classes back. I feel like most universities at this point have pushed classes back, but mine had to push it back a while ago. And so basically, I originally was going to be having to go back to my city where my college is in like 6 days, I want to say. But because of Omicron, I now have almost a full month where I'm staying here at home with my parents, and so I am relatively like excited about that. I'm very grateful for the time because I think it will give me more time to a work on this and do streaming and do art and all of those things that I really love doing before classes start up and I don't have a lot of time. But also because I'm like I mentioned earlier in stream, if you weren't in stream, I was kind of talking about my goals for 2022 and what I have in store and what I'm hopeful for. Bars, first of all. Sorry, second of all. And so I'm very grateful for the time that I have because yeah, sorry. I'm really grateful for the time that I have because I am going to be able to work on my goals and kind of like in an undistracted space push myself, I guess, and really work on like willpower and perseverance and like determination, all of those good things because I don't have a bunch of friends in this city. And so thank you. Exactly, Project Buffer Zone. It's like time for me to just sit down and work on myself and work on my art and just do what I want to do without having to worry about classes. And so I'm very grateful for this time, even though it is being born out of something that is not so great. And I'm very sending good vibes to everyone out there for Omicron. It is a very scary time that we are in, especially the fact that it has been almost 2 years now. I don't know about y'all. I'm getting a little tired of it all. I'm pissed off. Needless to say that she reared her head again and decided, nope, you've still got more time that you're gonna have to wait till everything's back to normal. So you know what? I'm gonna wait though. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna persevere. I really do. I think so. I'm a big believer in like having kind of like one word that is your word, kind of like your keystone, your keystone? Yeah, sure, we'll say it. Your keystone word. And so last year, and it kind of fell short towards like September, I want to say. I kind of fell short and kind of my life got a little turned upside down back in September, and so ever since then until now, it kind of was like all over the place. But January through September, which is like granted a long time, my word that I really fueled me and like really pushed me and was kind of like my main focus was determination. And so for like 6 to 8 months, I want to say, I really went about my life trying to have determination in everything I did and like be determined and cute motivated stuff. Determination was my thing. And this year I think my word or my I'm not positive yet, but I think my word that I'm going to have as my main focus word is going to be perseverance, um, which I think is really useful for me because although determination really pushed me to like try new things and have that like sense of motivation, I guess, about what I was accomplishing, it didn't really I was still able to be determined in quitting, if that makes sense. Like I could do something and not do it to its fullest, and I was like, well, that's okay. I'm still determined as a person. But with perseverance, I feel like that is a more you know oriented word. It is a more focused word on what I personally am trying to accomplish as a person, which is like set a goal for yourself and then accomplish said goal, you know? And so with determination, it's like, yeah, I'm determined to finish this goal, but then like you get like two road bumps and then you're like, nah, I'm falling apart, you know? But perseverance, it's like, okay, I have this goal. I'm like, I have road bumps, but I persevere through them despite. Like, determination is obviously an important part of that. Like, you need to be determined to accomplish a goal, but like, I don't know. I feel like perseverance will, for me personally, will be a better keyword for me this year. And so I'm excited. I think that's something that could be really, like, is a really cool thing that I have thoroughly enjoyed doing for myself is my words. Honestly, I don't really know where it originated. I think it kind of came from the idea. Sorry, I'm doing the thing. Hi, other camera. Oh, you can kind of see how much progress I've made. Look, I did all of that. Isn't that impressive? Aren't you impressed with me? I don't know. I'm just out here living my best life, trying to be an artist. I I like told my mom and dad, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be like streaming art, which I think is gonna be really cool. And they were like, okay, sure, yeah, do that, I guess. I was like, okay, well. So here I am doing that. But I don't know what I was talking about. Y'all, I can be very forgetful sometimes. I do apologize for that, sincerely. For my scatterness of my brain. I used to think I had like ADD or ADHD or something like that, which like I might, you know, but I went and got tested for ADHD and it didn't like I didn't have it, and so I was like, well, maybe I'm just a little scatterbrained. I don't know. Um Maxed Bricks recommends some color saturation in the future. Video is slightly whitewashed. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I appreciate it. I will look into some YouTube videos about how to do that because if I'm being honest, I don't know. I am very new to technology and cameras and all of this. I know, for the record, I know that my audio is not good, and I do apologize for the less than professional audio. I will invest in a microphone, hopefully sooner than later. I really will. I just need to. I kind of was waiting to like really get committed and get back into this. And so I think that now that I have like finally started, and I know that once I have like, it took me a while to get started. Like I had to really push myself into being motivated again for it. Because like it's kind of scary. I won't lie. I don't know about y'all, but like it can be a little bit scary to do this. And so I had to push myself to get motivated into doing it again. But now that I am, I think I'm going to invest in a nice camera, or not a nice camera. I already have like a decent camera. I have like the Logitech one. I don't know what it's called. I'm so sorry. I'll look into it. And then unfortunately for this one, I'm literally just using my laptop. Which, you know, we do that. We're out here doing that. Um, but so I will invest in an audio device because I know that my audio is subpar at best. And then I will also look into the saturation. Honestly, I thank YouTube every day in my life for having like tutorials for literally everything. There's not a thing under the sun that you can't look up on YouTube and learn how to do, and this includes like YouTube streaming and things such as that. Like I would not have known how to do any of this, set up OBS, any of it without YouTube tutorials. So we love YouTube. I'm actually literally in the status quo learning Spanish through YouTube because your girl took like how many years? Okay, from middle school, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I took like 6 years of Spanish and learned jack shit. And I'm kind of pissed at myself about that. I won't lie. Like it's such a necessary language to learn more than anything, but also really beautiful and like cool. And I want to learn it. I want to be bilingual really bad. And so I am learning Spanish on YouTube recommendation, if you want to learn Spanish in a really successful and like, I don't know, logical way, Spanish with Paul. It's some random dude. I don't know who he is or what he does, but Spanish with Paul on YouTube, it's amazing. He has these, I think they're like 30-minute long videos. And it's just like course after course after course of really, like he starts with the basic, which like granted is stuff I already know, but it's like a practice in working out sentences basically. Like he'll do like a kind of, oh, here's a sentence. We have already learned all of the words. Like, so, oh God, I'm not explaining this well. He'll like start with a sentence or like a word and he'll be like, this word means this. And then you'll do some practice sentences with that. And then you'll be like, okay, and here's another phrase and like blah, 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 or whatever. And then you kind of like combine the phrases that you've been learning. I don't know if that makes sense. Spanish with Paul, if you're trying to learn it, it's really great. He's awesome. Would 10 out of 10 recommend. So yeah, moral of the story, YouTube has just about everything in the world on it. I got really into cars for a while. Like I was like really curious about learning about cars and like engines and which kinds of cars are good cars and whatnot. YouTube has all of that. I learned so much about engines and, car rotors. Nope, that's not a thing. I don't know. I mostly learned about engines. I didn't really get past engines, but it was really interesting. I know the difference between a V engine and a W engine and a horizontal, I think they're called. H engine? I don't know, whatever. I learned a lot about engines. That was a while ago though. But yeah, YouTube is a cool place. Honestly, I would say that I watch more YouTube than anything else. Like I really don't. Okay, that's a lie. I do watch TV, but like not nearly as much as I watch YouTube. And I think it's just because the short form is just so much easier for my scattered self to understand and to process and to like pay attention to. Like it is very easy for myself to sit down and watch like a 10-minute YouTube video. A 30-minute, let alone an hour long episode of a TV show, I'm like, girl, I do not have the time nor the effort, nor do I honestly care enough to watch that. However, I will say admittedly, I did watch a fuck ton of The Witcher on YouTube. Nope, what is it called? On Netflix. I watched literally the entire second season. I had seen the first season when it originally came out. I watched Hello Max got the tracks. I am painting wood. If you can see, I am painting wood. But yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, let me finish my story about The Witcher and then I'll get to that. Scattered brain, like I've been saying. I have a very scattered brain. So, I literally binged the entire second season of The Witcher in 12 hours. It's 8 episodes and each episode is an hour long. I started at 2 o'clock in the morning. One morning I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch one episode because like they're an hour long. I need to get my ass to bed. I didn't go to sleep till like 6. I think literally 6 that day. And then I went to sleep, woke up at like 11, and then just stayed in bed until 4 o'clock that day, finishing the entire season. I did not do anything. I didn't eat. I literally did nothing. I just stayed in bed and watched The Witcher. And it was worth it and very good. If you haven't seen The Witcher, it's very good. What I was going to answer with Max Got the Tracks' question, which, hello, Max Got the Tracks. I know this man's in real life. So this piece, because I have some new friends in my community, in my viewing sphere, who haven't seen or heard what I'm... Sometimes I do this where I shift between cameras, and it's fun and I like it. Anyways, for my friends who have just entered the chat or are new, this piece that I'm currently working on is a wooden panel. So it's got like wood. I made it. It's cool. It's like a panel, and then oh, you know what? I'll just fucking move it. Maybe I won't. Chaos. There's like sides. I built it. It was cool. I used a what is it called? Nail gun. I used a nail gun, which was really cool. And then, so I used a nail gun, made this thing, and it is a wooden panel. So all of the lines that you see was me using this mixed, what color is this? Brown. I made an acrylic brown and I mixed it and put it in a jar here. And then I've been watering it down on this little like thing here, lid, with a very fine brush, and I went in and essentially just like outlined all of the lines that were the wood grain. So it was actually not too complicated to make the underneath part of it all. I just essentially traced over the wood grain, but I think it's like a really beautiful wood. It's got like a really cool grain to it. So yes, it is essentially me just painting wood. However, the nifty part, which you can't really see, which is unfortunate, with where all these like dark sections are, what I'm doing is I'm going in and dotting. I've got like a really fine, let me, I'm doing the, what is it called? The Beauty Guru thing. I've got a really fine tip brush here and I'm going in and dotting. So just like essentially thickening up the lines through dots. And with the dotting, I'm like spreading it out into these like areas where there's like not anything. So it's like cool. It looks cool. I hate when people ask me to talk about my art because I'm just like rather inadequate at it. I get all like flustered and confused and I'm just like, I'm making an art, I'm making a thing. But yes, I am painting wood right now. I have a question for you, Max Got the Tracks. Are you both Maxed Bricks and Max Got the Tracks? Or am I just tripping here? Because it feels like something you would do, and it does in fact feel like Maxed Bricks is something is similar. You don't have to answer, but also you do have to answer in some form or fashion. You can also just text me. Thank you though, the wood does look cool. I appreciate that. I'm very happy with it. This piece is going to my grandparents and I like gave it to them for Christmas as like a, I'm not done with it yet, but you'll get this. There are 3 Maxes in our grade. I was wrong. It's not the same Max. I'm deeply apologetic to my 2 Maxes that are in the chat. Why am I so confused by the number of Maxes that are going on? Hi, everybody. I just have a squad of Maxes pulling up. But yes, thank you. This piece is going to my grandparents. They also said it looked cool, but also they're my grandparents, so they have an obligation to tell me that my art looks cool. So, you know, it is what it is. Arya, I agree. Why in the world would they ever be named Max? Who decided that that was their idea to be named Max? Seems foolish. Just kidding. I think it's a cool name. I don't know. I honestly, okay, team that's in the chat. Hello everyone. What are y'all's thoughts on changing your name? Just like full send being like, nah, I'm gonna go by something else. Because my big in my sorority did it and it was like bold and I was like, okay, I see you. And I kind of have been thinking about doing it myself, but also I'm like, y'all already know me and y'all have known me for 4 years as Amanda, so I'm like, I don't know, do I not? I don't know. Give me some thoughts in chat. We'll chat about it. I don't know if I should, if I shouldn't. Max got the chat. Max got the tracks. Maybe you should think about it too, because your name is getting flamed currently. I don't know. But yes. Going back to art, I have been enjoying doing this wood piece. Although I will not lie, I'm currently at, I want to say, well, including the, what is it, hour and a half that I've been working on it today. I think I'm at 9 hours on this piece and I still have so much to go, like literally so much. It's tragic. So we will see how this ends up going with this piece. I already mentioned this, so I apologize if you've already heard me say this, but one of my like first professional, I say that with quotations, pieces that I really made, it went in my art gallery. It took 14 hours to make, and I genuinely feel like this one is going to take longer. So at this point, I feel like the game is like, how long can I take making a piece? Like how hyper detailed can I get with a piece that it takes me like 6 years to make it? I don't know. I do. Okay, there was this one artist that I really got into, because she does kind of similar, like hyper detailed stuff. Um, what was the quotations? It was, because thank you, Cody Hall. That was very sweet of you. It is real art. You're right. But in any case, there was this one artist that I got really into. Her name was, oh shoot, it's her last name is Kusaka, I want to say. She's a Japanese artist. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but if you look up Infinity Nets, like Infinity Nets paintings, you'll see her art. She's super, super cool. And she does like hyper detailed stuff like this too. And I got really into her stuff because she had this really cool interview where she talked about like where she got her inspiration from. And it was basically like, it was essentially this, like, this was the story. When I was a kid, I saw a bunch of. I'm getting a call from my friend. Sorry, friend, I will have to call you back later. Whenever I was a kid, this was her story. Whenever I was a kid, I saw a bunch of hallucinations of red flowers and rainbows all over my room. And so now, as an adult, I'm trying to recreate those. And I was like, I'm sorry, what now? That is so cool. Like, just taking, like, crazy stuff you were seeing as a kid and then trying to like replicate it as an adult. Like that was, anyways, she's super cool. Check out her stuff. I can't remember her name and I'm so sorry to her as an artist. But she's got these like hyper detailed beautiful pieces, and I was reading an interview about her, and one of the things that she said was like when she gets an idea for a piece, she can sometimes spend up to 50 hours, like in one session, just sitting for 50 hours straight working on a piece. And I was like, girl, I'm trying to get there. Like, that's the goal for me, honestly. Like, I want to be able to just, like, not do anything but sit and, like, work on a piece from beginning to end, no matter how long it takes. Like, I don't want to have to, like, take breaks for shit. Like, maybe eating and sleeping. But other than that, I'm not stopping. I'm a train with one direction and no stops. I don't know. So I guess that's kind of the end goal for me, is just like sit and do art forever until I die. And that's that. Sydney Bennett, I don't smell, you can't even smell me. You're nowhere near me. You are you are a stinky goober. Shut up. No, you can't. You cannot smell me all the way from where you are. That would be, honestly, if you could, first of all, I would be so sorry for everyone in my house and even close within the next 5 mile radius of me, because they would be dead. But also, that would be incredibly powerful sniffer that you had. Your sniffer would be quite bold, if you yourself could smell me from, what is it, like 100 miles away? 98 miles away? Something like that. Oh, also, I'm gonna call you later because I need to talk. Putrid! Shut up! I'm gonna call you later because I need to talk with you about work things, which is very suspicious sounding, but I have things that I need to talk to you about. So get ready for that call. It's exciting and good. It is a good thing. But yes, that is that. I am so happy. I'm so thankful that you're quite bold to be out here smelling like that. You know what? It is a good smell. Maybe the smell that you're smelling is a good smell. And you just like, you can't comprehend it because it's such a good smell that you're like, oh my God, I don't understand what's happening. Like your nose is freaking out, like doesn't know what's happening, but it's just like actually in love with me because of my smell. That's what's happening here. um Shit, I was about to say something. You got me off topic. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I'm so thankful for everyone who's pulled up into chat today. There are so many people here, and it's a positive. It's a very positive feeling thing. I enjoy it, and I'm very happy about it. So thank you to everyone who has been supportive and kind. Y'all are homies. Something tingly. Sydney Bennett, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna... My first chat heckler. Oh my gosh, you should be proud of yourself. However, whenever I did streaming last year, I was kind of like looking back at those videos. Girl, I did not know how to talk back in those videos. I mean, okay, granted, I still don't. I don't know how to speak. I am not a human. But you were a real one for being there when I was scrambling to understand how to be a human. TBH, Miss Squidney Bennett, you've been through it all with me. You have seen me really struggling to be a human. Now, granted, we struggled together. It's, this is something that I would adamantly say, as I think it is true. Since 2016, every person that I know has kind of been on a struggle bus. Like we're all out here. Glass Animals has an album. Cody, I don't know which album you're referring. I enjoy all of them. I don't know which one you're referring to. I'm sure that there was like a goof or a gag there, but I hope you people realize there's like a very intense uh what is it called? Lag. There's a lag in the chat. And so however, if you were making a reference to something I said previously, I'm not gonna catch it. I also am just like have a low intelligence score. My fuck. Oh, How to Be a Human. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. That's good. Shit. I should have gotten there, but I didn't get there. Like I was saying, low intelligence today. So, you know what? The jokes are going to soar past my head. Um, y'all, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying my best out here. Look at my art. I can do art really cool. Aren't I good at art? my brain is lagging. You're absolutely right. And it's been lagging for about 6 to 8 years. No, but okay, what I was thinking about the lag, it is an actual thing. So you send something in chat, and then we got some bullies up in the chat now. Yes, both of you are heckling me. No, you're not. You're being very kind. Thank you. But when you send something in chat, I don't see it in the chat until like 30 seconds later. Not even. Okay, it's like 5 seconds. But still, so like I'm not going to be able to like consistently. This is the problem that I was having last time whenever I was streaming, is like I distinctly remember me and I'm pointing at you. I'm pointing at you. I'm pointing at you. This is something that I noticed whenever I was watching my streams. Last year, me and City would be having conversations over stream, and she would like send something, and then like 30 seconds later I would respond to it, and then she would send something in the chat and I would respond to it like 30 seconds. So in any case, there is a lag, and I'm learning how to deal with this. And the answer is I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what I'm doing on here. I told my parents, I told Tom and Beth, um, yeah, there's not a lot of, okay, listen. This is why I streamed for so long, is because in the amount of time that I would be getting streaming, like the amount of work that I would be getting done without streaming, I would probably get like, I would say a solid 30% more work done without streaming than with streaming, but like it makes me work for longer. So it's kind of the same amount of success, like the same amount of work done. It's just takes longer. I don't know if that made sense, but like it made sense in my mind. So that's what you're getting. Also, it's fun to talk to people. So, I'm gonna just, that's how I'm gonna do it. This is how I, this is how I talk to my friends nowadays. This is the only way I talk to my friends is essentially through a chat box that is lagged by a solid 7 seconds. I don't know what to tell you. um, oh lordy. Is that a little dab? Is that a dab in the chat? Can I get some dabs in the chat, y'all? I really like that. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. Oh, he's a cute little guy. I feel like I need to be more proficient in streaming and things like that, because I simply don't know what in the Sam hell is going on at all with this shit. I literally, I watched, I think, 2 YouTube videos about like how to stream. Keep in mind, both of them were how to stream on Twitch and not how to stream on YouTube, but I was like, I'm not about to stream on Twitch. That is complicated and something that I am not able to do. So here we are. But they were both about how to stream on Twitch, but it was like essentially the same. And then the things that weren't the same, I just kind of like figured out. I was like, okay, if I press this button, maybe it'll do something. And then it did something. And I was like, shit, I'm never going to be able to do that again. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm able to replicate the success, question mark, the potential success that has been accomplished here, in another, maybe this is like catching lightning in a bottle kind of thing. I don't know. Wait. Oh, Sydney, I love the little cat in a box. Y'all, do I have a story for you? I had a I had a box. I was doing deliveries for my parents' business. Which, oh my God, if you missed it, I had a fire conversation with myself earlier. No one was in the chat yet. I had a fire conversation with myself earlier about my parents' business that they own. It's very silly, goofy. But in any case, I Max tapped in. That's good. Um, but so I was doing deliveries for my parents' business the other day because sometimes they'll like drag me into doing stuff for their business. And they'll be like, "We'll pay you," and then it ends up just being like they take me out to dinner or something. That's not true. Sometimes they do actually pay me, which I'm like, but you know, shut up. I know it was a conversation I had by myself, but you should have been there because it was a dope conversation, and I'm trying to make you jealous of the fact that you missed the conversation I had with myself. That's all. However, so I was doing deliveries for my parents' business, and I was like delivering flowers or whatever. It was not a big deal. And child labor. I am not a child, but yes, essentially child, because I am their child. So yes, essentially child labor. And I had these like boxes left over, and I've had, you know how like sometimes when you want to take something to Goodwill and then you just leave it in the back of your car for 3 months straight, and like you don't take it to Goodwill, and then it's just like back of your car for like 6 months and you still haven't taken it to Goodwill, and it's just like kind of part of the back of your car. I don't know if that's like a universal experience, but that's certainly my experience. So I've got like a like a solid number of things in the back of my car that need to be taken to Goodwill that I just like have not gotten around to doing, which you know, is very on brand for me if I'm being honest, just like not doing things that need to be done. However, so I trademark save on at Sydney Bennett. But however, I had these boxes in the back of my car, and I had some like things that I use a semicolon. Semicolon? I wish I knew the important use of a semicolon. Oh, instead of a comma? No, I want to use a comma. Okay, side note, I really don't know the proper usages of a semicolon. I think the American education system just truly failed me in that one because I don't know. I wish I knew, but I don't know. Um, however, okay, so I had deliveries, had a box, had shit in the back of my car. One of the things that I had in the back of my car was like an old bath rug, an old bath rug, you know, an old bath rug. And so I just like, I don't know why I did this, but I put the bath rug in the box, and like the box didn't have a top, like it was cut off, because I was like carrying shit in it. And I like brought it inside into our house, and I like set it down. Kid you not, the minute I set it down, I have two cats. One of the cats, his name's Benny, and he's an angel. He like ran into the box and like sat in it, and like ever since then, that was like 2 days before Christmas, I want to say, that is his box with that little rug inside of it. Like, I kid you not, he is obsessed with that box. So whenever I see him moving around, going anywhere, being anything, it's always like with motion towards his box. Like he does not leave that box. In any case, it was a cute little thing that was fun. We'll see. Whenever I'm connecting two thoughts together that could be two complete sentences, I usually just say like, I usually just kind of combine the thoughts together. I don't really like, I guess that's just how speech works. You don't say punctuation out loud in speech unless you're trying to be funny like Savon is, and Amanda was just utilizing Savon's joke in her own form of speech. That's all I've got. I will not be using semicolons because I think that if I were to try and use a semicolon in replacement of however comma, it would fail miserably and people would be like, that's not a funny joke. Where is Savon? That's what I want to know too. Why is she not up in the chat heckling? Like, of all the hecklers that I know, she should be out here heckling. Using semicolon is a character flaw. This is true. Thank you, Arya, for coming to my lead. If you know how to properly use a semicolon, what are you doing? For what? Why do you know that? Like, were you just so successful in high school that you understood and was able to like properly gauge how to use a semicolon? I certainly wasn't. If you know how to, here's this. If you know how to properly use a semicolon, you're a dork. You're a loser. Ooh, get burned. Sorry. Um, but no, I do not know how to properly use it. However, I do want Save On in the chat. However, comma, I do want Save On in the chat because um, she is busy building her duck. Dude, she's been on that duck grind. I love that for her so much. She is truly out there. Follow, oh shit. Sydney, if you can drop the name in the chat, I don't know how to say it. I've never said it out loud before. If you could drop her Instagram tag in the chat, let me do some promo for my girl Savon. She's got a cute duck business where she literally crochets these adorable little duckies. You can purchase one for, I'm not sure how much, but they're super cute and they're very fun. And I think everyone should go follow it. I love those ducks. I'm gonna get one myself. Honestly, I think that she should go so bold as to like make it an LLC or like, you know, get it, oh fuck, there's a word for that. Not ordained. Get it certified by the Bexar County community. I'm so smart, team. Also, wait, okay, every time I look back at this computer, which, hello, second camera, camera number 1, camera number 2. Every time I look back at camera number 2, I like kind of see the progress that has happened, and I'm like, hey yo, look at that. Fun fact, this right here is what I have accomplished in the last almost 2 hours. So, that's great. Ayo, that's her handle. Everyone who's in my chat right now, which is like a small squad, but hey squad. Please follow my dear friend Savon. It's quite literally her name backwards with an underscore. And her ducky business so that you too can get, yes, Bexar County. Bexar? It's Bear. You know it's Bear, right? The X is silent. Which, what the fuck, why did they do that? I don't know why they would do that. I don't know what you mean, no autocorrect, my ma'am. Did you see how my brain just literally like short-circuited for a minute trying to understand what you were saying about the no autocorrect? Damn, did I short-circuit there. I was like, no autocorrect. What is that in reference to? I wonder what she's trying to say there. Maybe I should say something out loud right now. Girl! Team, her mind, it is non-existent. It says, reread my sentence, it says bear. Where does it say bear? Where does it say bear? We do live in Bexar County. You don't say Bexar County. It's Bexar County. You know that, right? You don't pronounce the X? It's Bexar County. I learned that, and I was kind of really excited because Bear is like just so much better than Bexar County in my professional opinion. Bexar sounds like, what does Bexar sound like? Bexar sounds like a 21st century mom, like a millennial mother currently has a son. Oh, it was? Where? Where was it? The way that I simply don't see that comment. Am I tripping? I am simply tripping. However, comma, trademark save on. I can't find it. So I believe you, Sydney, but I can't find it. Where I was going with this comment about Bexar. Bexar sounds like the name of a 21st, like a millennial mom makes for her son who's like, she like wants to be like a cool kid. She's like, my son's named Bexar. Why would I be such a good 21st century millennial mom? Like, I think I could boldly do it and be successful at it, which that in itself is, you know, a statement to who I am as a person, but I think I could do it successfully. Like, all I care about is like, well, not all, but like I really care about like yoga, or no, Pilates. Yeah, I'm like really into Pilates, and like I wear athleisure all the time. Okay, TBH, on the topic of athleisure. Girl, where are you with your mind? I bought these really cute like athleisure pants today at Target, which like that in itself just screams millennial mom. But I bought these really cute athleisure pants at Target today, and I felt really cute, and I put them on and I was like, I'm cute. That's that story. That's all I've got there. I just really liked the pants that I bought today. Um, they're really cute and they make me happy. I don't know. I went through a phase where I was purchasing so many clothes all of the time. That was back in, it was probably like a form of coping through clothes, anyone else out here cope through buying clothes? Cuz I certainly went through a phase of that. But in any case, I went through this phase of like buying just every clothing. I'm not wearing them right now. These are just like regular pants. I mean, they're also kind of like leggingy, but they have the, you know how, oh, you're gonna see my socks. You know the wide ones? You know which one. You've seen me wear these before, Squid. But in any case, where was I going? Fuck. I had a thought and now it is gone. Oh, hello, it is me. Ever heard of hypomania? Fuck you, bitch. You're not wrong though. Yes, my mind be here and then here and then here and then here and then here. And then sometimes a little bit of here, but then mostly over here, but then a little bit over there. And that's tingling again, TBH. Sydney, stop tingling in my chat. um, uh, yeah, so that's where I'm at. What other things can I chat about? I'm like a chatty gal, I'm just like a chatty Kathy. Like, I like to talk, I like to chat. Buying clothes? Yeah. Oh, fuck, thank you so much, Sydney Bennett. I was talking about buying clothes. So I went through a phase where I was like just buying all of the clothes in the world because you know what? Sometimes you need to cope through clothing. And so I was, and then I kind of like stopped because I was like, I should stop spending so much money. And so I stopped spending so much money. And so now whenever I buy clothes, it's kind of like, ooh, like a little treat to myself. Because for a really long time I was like, oh, I'm just buying more clothes for myself, But now I buy clothes for myself and it's like, ooh, I got a new pair of pants. Ooh, that's exciting, I just get excited about buying little gifts for myself. For coping, yeah. I feel like everyone has very unique coping mechanisms. Not that, what is it called? Shopping? There's like a specific name for coping with clothing. Like shopping, shopping. I don't know. There's a name for it. I can't think of it off the top of my head. However, I certainly went through that phase personally. It's like fashion. No, it's like shopping. I don't know. It's not in my mind. So this is something that is essential for my retail therapy. Thank you, team. Y'all are my heroes. Oh God. So I was about to say this. Arya does know. Arya, you're a real one for being up in this chat. I appreciate you. So my family, I don't know why it is. My grandfather, whose name is Papa. I call him Papa. Papa, he's getting this art piece. Hey, yo, Papa, shout out to you for getting this art piece. In any case, collecting, that too works. He does this thing, and he's passed it down to my mother, and then now onto me as well. I know I have it, where he'll stop mid-sentence, and he'll just like stop talking, and he like, it's either because his brain short circuits or like he forgets the words or just something like that, where he'll just like kind of stop speaking, and then like whoever is talking to him will have to fill in what he was trying to say and like guess what he was trying to say. And my mother does it too, where she'll just kind of be like, oh shoot, what was I wanting to say? Or like, blah, blah, blah. What is the word for that again? And then like you'll have to fill it in kind of. I know I have it too, because shit like that, where I just completely blank on what the thing is called, happens all the time. Reclaiming your feminine urge to gather. Now let me tell you something about hunting gathering. I want to go back to it. Partially because I think it would be really nice to have a little hoard of berries that I get to carry around and collect. Like essentially, if you really think about it, that feels kind of like, oh, what is the name of that one? See, I'm doing it again. Animal Crossing. Feels kind of like Animal Crossing, you know? Like you just get to collect your berries and then you get to go home and eat your berries and then you do it the next day and you get to collect your berries, then you get to go home and eat your berries and then you get to collect your berries and then you get to eat your berries. And that's all it is. That sounds awesome. I want that. I want a part of that. Give me a slice of that easy, easy life. That's what I'm looking for in my experience, in my lifetime. It's just an easy, fun, cute little Animal Crossing lifestyle. Um, but then along came, like, you know, societal standards and needs and things like that, and it got all nasty. Animal Crossing with a lifespan of 26. Honestly, yeah. Like, give me 5 more years and I'm ready to be out of here. Let me do a little bit more. Maybe make a nice, cute little house for myself. You know, find a cute dog or cat or something. Get a little pet, and then I'm ready to go. I don't need like 80 years. Are you kidding me? What do I do after year 60? Sit around and wait to die? No, I know lots of 60-year-olds. Fun fact, my grandfather, who keeps reoccurring in conversations, don't know what that's about today. He turned 81 this year. That man swims like miles. He will go and he swims Monday, Wednesday, Friday without fail. Man's never misses one of his Monday, Wednesday, Friday sessions. And he'll go and swim for like 3 hours. And I'm like, you are 81 years old. How are you? I don't think I could swim for 3 hours straight. Like how? I don't know. He's ridiculous. And he got braces this year. Like what 81-year-old is out here getting braces? Like how many more years is this man expecting to live? Like I feel like he's gonna be like 102 and be like, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm like, sir, it's truly astounding. Some people out here really be out here, but you know, that's the conversation on that. He's a crazy man who I adore very dearly. I'll be ready to, honestly, when would I be ready to like fully quit it? Like giving that that's so hot. Please, Sydney, I'm begging you, please don't say that. Not that. Um, I think for me, like you know the scene in if you haven't seen Midsummer, cover your ears because this is about to be a spoiler for Midsummer. That scene where like the old people jump off the whatever the cliff. Um, okay, spoiler done. I think I would be ready to do that at like 75. I think that's good for me. Like I don't need to make it all the way to 100, you know? I feel like that's just a bit of a reach. And then also, what am I gonna stay? Like, I'm only gonna see year 3, what is it? 2100. That's not that interesting. 2100? The 22nd century? I don't really care that much, you know? Like, I'll be ready to move on after 75. I definitely need to see 2069. That's essential. That's essential viewing. That's going to be a great year. Like, you can't tell me that 2069 is not going to be a phenomenal year. It's just going to be a party for everyone. We're all going to be having a great year in that year. So I definitely got to make it then. I will be 69 though, which is unfortunate. Won't really be able to like party it up. But I guess if I live by my grandfather's standards, then I will be partying it up in 2069. Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. Can you imagine being a 69-year-old and like partying it up, just living? Oh my God. On the topic of 69. I was at the gym the other day and my locker number was 65. But the combination for it was like 4069. And so I got it switched in my brain and I thought that my locker number was 69 and like the combination was something different. And so I was like trying to open it and I was like stressed out and I like couldn't get it and I like just finished my workout and I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna like, what is happening? So I had to go to the front desk and be like, hey, I accidentally locked myself out of my locker. Can you open it for me? And they were like, yeah, what's your locker number? And I was like, 69. And they were like, I'm sorry, what? Because it was like these 2 teenagers and I was like, yeah. And then I was wrong. And so like this lady, she went into the locker room with me and she opened 69. It was empty and I was like, oh shit. She was like, did you try one of the other ones? And I was like, yeah, maybe try one of the other ones. It was 65, but it was a silly, goofy, funny moment because the two guys who were at the front desk, they like paused when I said the locker number. They like looked at me. They like looked at each other, and I was like, "Listen, y'all, it's not that deep, please." But it was funny. It was silly, goofy, and funny. Um, wow, I've already been at it for 2 hours, and look at all the progress I've made. I'm so proud of myself. I am a god. Um, Kanye West, anyone? Thoughts on Mr. Yee? I love that good boy. That good West. He's a solid, decent man. Actually, I don't know about that. I saw a thing that said that he bought a house right next door to Kim Kardashian, which I think is just about the funniest thing in the whole wide world. Like, I feel terrible for Mrs. West, Miss Kardashian West, because think about like just casually living your life, like trying to he does have kids with her, but like a house across the street, I feel like that's like a lot, you know? I feel like he could give her some personal space or something. I don't know. Like I feel like she really doesn't want anything to do with him anymore, and he keeps pushing, you know? Is that normal? To have a house across the street? I didn't think that was. Is that normal? I don't think that's normal. Am I just tripping here? I don't think that's normal to have a house across the street from your ex. But also, I don't know. So maybe I am tripping here and like that is a common thing. But I feel like okay, maybe this is like me personally. If I were to divorce from someone and it was clearly a messy divorce as like Kim and Kanye have stated, this is true. It does depend on the divorce, and there are only so many streets. But I feel like me personally, like if it were a messy divorce, like they have claimed, like the Kardashians and Jenners have claimed that it was, I personally wouldn't really want like said person to be near to me, or at least like in close proximity. Like I would be totally fine, you know, like hey, come visit the kids, check, you know, I would obviously still want you to be a part of their lives, but like I would be okay with not having that person in my life anymore. But also, I don't know Kim Kardashian and I don't know Kanye West, so I don't know how their experience is. Um, Honestly, celebrity drama in general, just like as a concept, can you imagine being like everyone in the world knows about your divorce and like how you're feeling about your ex and like talks about it and does exactly what's happening here where they like analyze it and try to think about it and like process it. Shit, that would be exhausting. I Celebrities these days, I don't know how they do it or why they do it or what that's about. It feels like it would be very mentally taxing. Like very mentally taxing, and I don't know. Ooh. I finished shout out Sydney Bennett for lending it to me. I finished this comic, The Watchmen. If you haven't heard of it, very good. There is both a movie and an HBO series of it, but also I would highly suggest reading the graphic novel because it's super good. But I finished The Watchmen, and the entire concept of The Watchmen is about like essentially what happens to it just like looks at the superhero experience from a very human standpoint. So like, okay, here you have Dr. Manhattan, who is essentially like an omnipotent god who knows everything because of like a accident that happened in a nuclear reactor. And he's essentially a god, and he just like doesn't care about humanity because he's a god. Like, why would he care about ants when he is a god, you know? And so, yes, this comic is the best. I agree. And so it's really interesting story and kind of has me like not wanting superheroes to ever come into our existence. But it also kind of like rings true for the celebrity experience. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, it's just a fucked up thing that we as a society have created. The idea that, like, yes, certain people in our society, you're just gonna know everything about whether you want to or not. Like, what? That's such a weird thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe some people are really into it and they enjoy celebrity culture, but like, I don't know. I sometimes feel a little icky about it, especially after reading Watchmen. Like, especially after that, I'm just kind of like, weird. Oh, streaming. Hold on, I'll be back, team. Hello, I'm back. Sydney, my dad said hello to you as well. Also, I hope you realize, as I was gone, I had a brief conversation with my father. So Mans is from Iowa, and whenever I like was showing him my setup because he hasn't seen it yet, he was like, "Oh yeah, I know about streaming. Yeah, streaming." He's from Iowa, which is like the most Midwest of all Midwest, if you know anything about the Midwest. He was like, "Yeah, I think streaming came from Iowa. Like I'm pretty sure we invented streaming, so I know about streaming." I was like, "Sure you do, Tom. Sure you do." In any case, that was silly, goofy fun. No clue in the world what I was talking about beforehand, but you know what? C'est la vie. Um, can you even see that? I don't know if you can even see that. It's fun little goofy. I think I'm only probably going to stream for about 30 more minutes because in that brief conversation, my father said we're having chicken wings for dinner, which, like, girl, are you kidding me? That's incredible. So I'm going to go help create some chicken wings for our family and munch on those for dinner, which is going to be wonderful. Tom is a tech god. Sydney, I'm gonna be real with you. My dad doesn't even know how to text. He uses voice text because he doesn't know how to text. I love him. Bless his heart. But he does not know technology at all. He had like he had a present that he was giving to his brother for Christmas, and it was like concert tickets, and so he wanted to print out a picture of the concert, or like the concert tickets or whatever, and he didn't know how to print, and so he had to ask me to help him print. And I was like, "Sir, printing? You run a business and you don't know how to print." That was silly. That was silly if I've ever heard of a silly before. Bless his heart. I love that man, but technology is not his forte. Now, to be fair, he did grow up, like I mentioned, in the Midwest in the 60s. So, like, there's a lot of disparity there, and he's not he's not the best at learning things. So, especially things that take time, it's not his forte. So, I understand the frustration coming from him simply in the fact that he hasn't taken the time to learn technology and therefore does not know technology. Um, that was a silly, goofy, funny. I'm so thankful and grateful that I created that second scene that was like, if shit gets whack, I'm gonna just turn this on really quickly. Because shit did get whack. I love being prepared. Love having preparedness in my life. Um, wow. I'm so thankful to everyone who pulled up to the chat today. I know I've already said this, but like it is so cool and fun because when I used to piecing out. Goodbye, Sydney. Thank you so much. I really do love you. Like I was saying, I'm so thankful. Thank you. But whenever I previously streamed, I I literally streamed for like 3 hours and I had like maybe one person come. So it is very cool that I have had so many amazing fellow folk join me on my streaming experience today. It has been very fun and I'm very grateful for it. So I thank everyone who joined the stream today. Um, I yeah, that's that. I'm It's been fun. I think I'm probably gonna do this every, what is today? Tuesday? Okay, every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. That's my goal. It's 3 days a week to stream. Probably around this time, like 3 to 6-ish or so. I think that's my goal. But if you follow me on social media, you will be able to find those times, because I'll be more communicative about it. I kind of want to make like separate accounts, but also I already have like a lot of, well, no, okay, not a lot, but like I have my followers on my main accounts already, and so I'm kind of like I might just use those and then like not. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. We're in the works here, team. If you can't tell, I'm still pacing. What is the word? Oh fuck. Practicing. I'm still figuring it all out. I don't know. But I really enjoyed this. Like I said, it was really funny. One of the first times I streamed, I kind of knew that there weren't going to be a lot of people because it was my first time ever streaming, and I was like, there's not going to be much of an audience, so I'm going to kind of have to figure out how to entertain myself for 3 hours, because I'm not going to be able to just sit there. I mean, I obviously can just sit there and paint for 3 hours, but if I'm going to be on screen, I'm going to want it to be fun. And so if you go back and watch, I have 3 streams that I did last year, that were like I guess I can call them like my trials, my practice streams. Eh, eh. Hello. Sorry, let me just readjust myself real quick. But in those streams, I essentially just like tell stories the whole time. I don't know why, but like I was like, okay, I'm not gonna really have anyone that I'm talking to. I'm not gonna really have much of a audience. So I'm just gonna tell stories. And so that's what I did. I just literally told stories the whole time, and had fun with it. And it was very cute and silly and goofy. Um, I would like I would like the audience, which is okay, I do this in real life. I don't know why I do, but I just like refer to the people who are non-existent. I refer to a non-existent audience. So like literally sometimes me and Squid will just be like having a normal conversation in our apartment, and I'll be like, "Well, yeah, we're doing it for the audience." Like I'm in the Truman Show. If you haven't seen the Truman Show, watch the Truman Show. It's very good. But I did the thing where the thought process went away. I don't know. I think also it's partially because I don't know if you've ever like been on camera with a couple of anonymous people watching you. Not that these people are anonymous. I know many of these people. Which, hi friends, thank you for being here. But it's very a little bit nerve wracking because it's like, how are they perceiving me right now? Oh God, there was this meme. I kid you not, 3 separate people sent it to me because it's just too damn relatable for all of us out here. It was like me checking my social media 3 times a day to see how people perceive me. I feel like that times a million on this dang moment right now, because it really is just a everybody out here perceiving. And I frequently enjoy being not perceived. I For like a year and a half. Okay, well also it was because of quarantine, but like for a very extensive period, especially like after quarantine, we're still kind of in quarantine, whenever everyone like was kind of like coming back to being social and like going to bars and stuff again, I kind of like just stayed hidden, and I still haven't really like fully come back to being like the socialite that I used to be, because I used to be like a little social butterfly who loved going out and like seeing people and partying and all of that X, Y, and Z. But like I haven't really done that still, and so it is a very strange thing like when I do go out. Like Jesus, I remember the first time, oh my God. I remember the first time I actually went out after quarantine. And this was in, I think this was in like, I want to say like March of 2021, something like that. I went out. Thank you. And the point of the stories and stuff. See, okay, the thing about it. All right, let me finish where I was going with that thought. Um, I I went to said event, and it was like just the usual bar, and I literally almost had a panic attack because I was so shocked at the number of people that were there. I was literally like, holy Toledo. Well, and also the fact that I just like hadn't seen people in so long, and it just like I genuinely remember being like terrified. I was like, holy cow, I cannot comprehend the number of people here. Had a minor freak out. It's been getting better for sure, but Jesus, I remember like for the first couple of times I went out, it was just like, wow, this is a lot of people. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to talk to people. That was another thing too, was like, how do I talk to people that I don't see like every day on a continuous basis? Like, how do I have small talk? Essentially, was what it came down to. But Max, thank you for this solid point. You're absolutely right. The only problem, usually when I speak, especially when I speak with a camera in front of me, I'm not thinking about the next words that are going to come into my brain. There's no there's no end goal with these words that I'm saying. I'm just saying words and I'm hoping that they are valid words. So yes, like that should be the end. The goal is like where the story ends. However, we're going to really not be linear to getting to that goal. So I think that's where part of the issue comes in, is I'm kind of making up the words as they go, not really putting a lot of thought into it. But that's kind of what makes it fun, you know. I'm a little on edge. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna say next. Oh God, I don't know. I like to think of myself as a charismatic person. Like I like to think of myself as like, oh yeah, I can hold a conversation. Like I can, you know, do the thing. But in actual practice, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Am I? I don't know. No, I know I am, but it is just a weird thing talking. I won't lie. I have started to run out of thoughts though. I will say that. Carrying a conversation for 2.5 hours is a feat. I will not lie. It is a feat. But I've gotten a lot of success with my art done. I'm really happy about that. Interesting. There have been like a couple of like weird bot things throughout that I'm a little curious about, a little confused by. If anyone knows how to stop those, that would be greatly appreciated. I would like that to not be that way. Um, Maybe I'll just YouTube it. YouTube, learn how to do it. Because, like I said, that's how I learn most things, is I just look up YouTube tutorials. God, I really feel like, okay, going back to the conversation of YouTube, because it's interesting. You know how Alexandria's library is like, people always refer to it as like, oh, it was the breadth of knowledge, it was where all of the knowledge of the world went, or whatever, and then it like got destroyed. Tragic, absolutely tragic. But I kind of feel like YouTube is the new Alexandria's library. Like all of the knowledge of the world is kind of in this place. Because if you think, well, okay, obviously not all of the knowledge of the world, but like if you think about it, or maybe it's just the internet in general. Yeah, it's probably just the internet in general, but I feel like it's more fun to say YouTube because, I don't know, it makes it more specific. But in any case, it is so interesting how much knowledge and like it really is a second brain that you have on YouTube, or specifically like the internet. Not, I guess not specifically the internet. It really is just a second brain that we have, and I think that is so cool. Like I don't know what that's gonna mean in 15, 20 years. What is a generation who has grown up always having the internet? Because I kind of remember ish when the internet was really becoming the internet. Like, I think I was 8. And like obviously the internet had become the internet at that point, but it like was still kind of evolving. I I remember my first like Google search, and it was the Magic Tree House. I literally just Google searched the Magic Tree House. I was with my sister. We were sitting on a laptop. We searched the Magic Tree House, and I remember we went to the website for the Magic Tree House, and there were games that we could play. But like, isn't that crazy that I remember my first Google search? In I bet you the generation today doesn't remember their first Google search because they, they. Oh God, I feel like I sound like such an old lady. It. I was talking with we have like family friends who are like I've known my whole life, and like we do everything together because they're like basically my aunts and uncles. And I'm one of the youngest ones out of all of the kids, but there's one kid who's 13, and he was always like a little bit younger than everyone else. And I saw him for the first time in like a really long time, for the first time in like 3 years, I want to say. And so the last time I saw him, he was like, I think he was like 10, And so there's a big difference between a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I didn't really like process this when I was like, oh, I'm going to get to see this kid again, Because I was like, oh, he's a kid. But then I like saw him and I was like, that's a teenager. Like that's a difference between a kid and a teenager. And so I saw him and like we were talking and I was like trying to talk to him. And I was like, how do you talk to a 13-year-old? Like I felt, hold on one second, team. Hello, I'm back. My parents are currently trying to feed the kitties dinner, and they were asking if I had one of the cats. I, however, did not. But in any case, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I was trying to remember how to talk to this. I was like trying to talk to this 13-year-old, and I was like, I don't know how to speak to a 13-year-old. I guess, because I was trying to be like fun and relatable and like cool, and it just was not a success. It was certainly not. And I was like, okay, all right, this is fine. I'm okay with this. I guess I don't know how the teens talk anymore. I like made okay, granted it is like an old meme and I know this, but I like made a joke about put in the work, put in the hours, the fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson meme, and he was like, "Oh, that's an old one." And I was like, please, sir, like, let me have this. Like, you're not wrong. It is an old meme, but like, damn. Um, no, I don't. He didn't say it in like a truly mean way, but I was just like, wow, okay. I guess I don't know the memes anymore. But yeah, it is very strange being like not a teenager anymore and being like a young adult because it's like I guess I didn't realize that like there was such a stark transition, but there certainly has been. Maybe just for me, I don't know about y'all. Oh. Huh. All right. I'm getting very sleepy and I think that my rambling has gone on long enough. And they're still hollering about needing to find the cat. So, I think I'm going to call it a night. I am again so very thankful, so very, very, very grateful for everyone who pulled up to chat today, for everyone who joined me. Y'all were amazing. It was a very fun day. And I made some good progress on my art. Look at that. I got that whole section, that whole chunk. Which, in retrospect, does not look like a lot. We're going to be here for a while on this piece. Good heavens. But thank you so much again for everyone who came. I had a lot of fun. It was a really great time. funny, goofy moments were shared, silly memories that we'll all reflect on as we fall asleep tonight and think about what a wonderful day it's been. and and I will see you again. Follow me on social media so that you can see when my next thing goes up, when my next stream happens. This motion, I don't know. Follow me on social media for when my next stream happens, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Thank you. Hee hee.